So I think in a sense we have to learn from and to see from each other and to adapt. I think that this question, it won't end because we don't know how the pandemic is responding to each country. So in Albania we are more we didn't expect it that, but we are more now in this stage of the pandemic we are a little bit more open to outdoor places, and people seem that they are not living with the pandemic, but when it comes to cultural institutions, they have to adopt new strategies from inside and to measure their indoor spaces. Of course, we will see from much more experienced professionals and then maybe to adopt those rules in our museums. There is no answer to this question till now, because every museum has their own rules. They also have to think who are their audience now for the moment. So for the moment we have indoors visitors, let's say people from Albania, so they can manage a little bit for the moment, but if the boundaries shall be open, yes, they have to think a little bit more. But I don't think that people...
Yeah, please.
I don't think that people might go for the reservation because they don't want to. If you say to people you have to reserve previously and to wait 1 hour or 2 hours after one group shall finish and to enter the others for 5 or 6 person for a round, I think also in this sense people might get a little bit bored, but till now these are some small strategies that are being developing other museums for. But they have to be creative. The museums have to be a little bit creative in this sense.
Yeah, you are right. Actually, I would like to, regarding that question, I would like to refer him or her. I didn't see her. There are 2 guidelines published. One is by ICOM, International Council of Museum, and one is by American Alliance of Museums, that after reopening it, not only the guideline, but how to maintain or how to prevent. It is kind of helpful for the getting idea of for the future strategies. But I might say that as some Europeans or even Americans museum were doing it, because so far I know that there is no online ticket selling in museums of Iran. So maybe online ticket selling, that would be one of the strategy that they can take it. For example, there would be some limitation for the visit. As you mentioned, that they can reserve it for example, Sunday for 2 hours, and they would buy the ticket. And it might be a good idea, but we have to let's see and being in touch with the scientists that what we will be going on for this for controlling this disease. Oh, okay. I think so far we have talked about most of the points that we wanted, but how do you think the future of museums will be? I mean, what would be changed? So,
good question. Yeah, I think that we all are learning from this pandemics, and as I know, we hadn't think before that museums or cultural institutions would suffer from. We know from the catastrophes, but we hadn't think from disease catastrophe that might be how to say it, the point that museums would suffer. So till now, all museum professionals are thinking also of this. So how would be the future of museums? And maybe this has to be also put it in the new ICOM statute maybe, that because museums are facing, and many staff has lost their job and their incomes, and no one previously had think about this, and nobody, also museums hadn't, especially those that are private museums or those museums that are dependently from reservations or educational activities, and that are not maintained from the government. So this is one of those issues, the main issues for the future to be elaborated from all of us, and to define and to elaborate new strategies to how will be. Maybe, I don't know. This is till now.
It's sure.
Answer to this found us unsurprisingly unprepared about that, and it's not easy to say it just this, that I have this idea that might be the solution, because, as I said, different solutions are from different perspective of museums. Maybe I have heard some that maybe some museums have new possibilities to apply for European funds, let's say, to increase their financial incomes. I read somewhere or in some webinar that were asking, maybe shall we apply for some funds, to European funds, for the pandemics, for the behavior of people inside, and so to raise the awareness of people. But there are no similar answers. Yeah,
exactly.
We will after the end, museum professionals would be more how to say it, analyze better the situation after this, and they would get together to see, because we cannot go digitally each time. We are going now, but as I said, it might be for every time. So digitally is an option, but people want to experience by themselves. So yeah, I'm reading, developing virtual museums can be good solution too. Yeah, we know there are also the virtual museums, also online museums already, and some museums has already gave this option also for free to visit their exhibitions. But I have also experienced their virtual exhibitions, but I think that it's not the same, because when you are in a museum, you see the artifact or artwork, and you go there and meditate about that, and your mental health is there, and you experience something else. But virtually, it is an option, but it's not the solution.
Actually, as the last survey published by Museum Hack, that the virtual visit of museum is not working anymore. And it is saying that during those beginning, I mean, those days at first, it was working, but after sometimes people were, getting bored of that.
Yeah.
So one of the solution in virtual visit, I think, would be if they would add some specific content on it that might be useful for these days. For example, it would be, suggest a solution for the major issues that people are facing with it. And as you may know, whether sounds, whether videos, which is would complete that visit, I think might be more helpful. Even today, I posted something that when we are going to visit the museums, there is a sense of place there. We will walk there, we will see there, we will sit there, we will talk with each other, even talk with the guide or curator. And these activities, obviously the feeling and, encountering in person is totally different than the thing that we are seeing through the phones or even laptops.
Yeah, I'm of your opinion as well, because as I said, virtual tours and virtual guides as well. I have also experienced, people are experiencing, as you said, it was in the first weeks, because you wanted to do something differently, maybe to engage with the family, also because some of those museums were free, but can this be forever free?
No, I don't think so.
So can this be for a lot of time? But as you said, when you are personally there, you can ask for a curiosity you see there, and you have the curator that is there ready to give you some explanations as well. But this is not the same thing when you are virtually. You have no one to ask there. You have just something that is displayed there for you. Maybe there is some content, but you cannot engage, and this makes the difference. Otherwise, nobody would went to museums and.
Yeah, right. I would like to thank this audience Unsorted Lifeline that he or she were asking very good questions which developed our conversation. So I think I have no more question except one. And from your point of view, I would like to ask if I or any of our audience which is now hearing and watching us, one day after this pandemic, we would travel to your country, which museum we have to visit?
You have a lot of possibilities to visit museums. Well, Albania is rich in archaeological museums. So one of my advices would be to visit. People are free to choose, but the archaeological museums in Tirana, in Durrës, in Butrint, in Apollonia. These are the main archaeological museums, let's say. Otherwise, for those that don't know Albania, we have also a difficult past as communism heritage, also displayed in some private museums and also in national museums. And from my point of view, this also has been in the last years the difficult past and communism heritage has been one of the main interests of tourist visitors to